Welcome to the Dirty Penguin Presents Now Showing! That's right. Welcome to the Dirty Penguin Presents Now Showing, where we discuss movies that are currently showing. And today's, oh my God, I can't even, today's contribution to our, to our catalog. Oh my God. I didn't even think about it. To our catalog is the travesty that is, that is Cats.
Cats, the movie. And it's a musical. It fits right in with our current season.
Yes.
It does. You're right. Absolutely
almost
right.
Beautifully.
But before we jump into our thoughts and emotions and all the things that have us all revved up to do this recording today of the Now Showing Cats, Doug, why don't you give us those fresh movie facts?
Fresh facts, buddy.
Give it to us straight, Doug.
Play the facts.
Give it to us straight, Doug.
Fresh facts,
Cats, 2019 joint by Tom Hooper.
Hooper,
who was famous for Les Mis. He did the Les Mis remake with.
Okay, so now we know who. Now we know who to blame.
Yeah.
I know who's moved up to the top of my to kill list.
Starring Taylor Swift, Idris Elba.
That's
Rebel Wilson.
That's
Nope.
Idris.
Nope. Nope. American Treasure.
American Treasure. Yes.
Idris Elba.
James Corden and Idris Elba.
Yeah.
No, James Corden is not on American Treasure. They can keep him.
Is he just a Brit?
He's just a Brit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah.
American Treasure.
American Treasure.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah. American Treasure.
Rebel
It's
Wilson.
just like, so can I get back to it? Sorry.
We're just go. I mean,
are you done with your facts or?
No.
We hijacked it.
I think this has only made something like $5 million
So far?
So far.
So as we're recording this, when did this come out? As we're recording this, this has come out, what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, right?
20th of
The
December.
20th?
20th.
Yes.
So
So-
last Friday? Last Friday.
No, 3.
3 days ago,
Days ago.
4
This
days
is a
ago.
very fresh recording for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's only made how much so far?
I think five or 6 million.
Approximately
Well,
$5
it just
million
made
in the
some
first
more
weekend.
tonight.
Yeah, it made well,
At least
not
another.
I guess
It still
we didn't have
counts.
to pay for our ticket.
But somebody
Oh,
has
yeah.
to pay for
Well,
it.
somebody paid for it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
15 of us in the theater total.
Yeah, but again, I think 5 of those people didn't pay for their tickets.
Yeah, they just walked in.
Yeah.
6.5 million so far.
Well,
But they also think that The Greatest Showman debuted on premiered on Christmas, and it did very similar numbers. But then it went on to do $174 million.
But it,
This is not the
did.
What
movie
it
is
is
this?
seen The
not
Greatest
gonna
Showman.
happen.
Oh, the
But
greatest.
this is
I
not The
think
Greatest
they
Showman.
said The Greatest Showman only did like $8 million for the entire 5-day span
But
of
then word of
Christmas.
mouth on that one was so positive that it did. It picked
Yeah,
up.
it's
did hear a lot of
possible
good
with this
things
one that it's the next big Christmas family tradition. You can go
It's
see
not
Cats every year.
possible. No.
God,
Any more,
I hope not.
any more fresh facts for us there, Doug?
Yes. This is the first time Old Deuteronomy has been represented as a female.
Right on.
Oh,
Okay.
she was also the first female M for James Bond, was she not?
Yes.
That's true.
James Duty Dench breaking down
Breaking
barriers.
down the patriarchy.
Yeah. Go her.
Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote new songs exclusively for this.
Which
Oh,
ones?
really?
The one that Victoria sings, I don't
Right,
think that one's
that-
in the. I don't think that
Beautiful
one's in the
Ghosts.
play. The Beautiful
Oh, yeah.
Ghosts.
that
I
was
think
with
that's
Taylor
new.
Swift
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Weber.
and Taylor Swift.
Anne Hathaway and Rihanna were considered for parts.
Did they turn them down or?
I don't know.
I bet
Anne
right now
Hathaway,
they're just
wasn't
like,
she
good call.
Catwoman?
Way
Didn't
to
she
go,
already do
me.
her little stint as?
She did Les Mis
cat?
too.
Yeah, she did Les Mis.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
she
yeah,
was.
you're right,
She
she
was
was
already
Catwoman.
a cat.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
I don't think that precludes you from being in this if you had already been a cat in another movie.
She already
though.
has his
No,
costume.
that's what it
though.
is.
I mean,
Right?
you might as well.
She's got- she's
Yeah,
got- she's got
every
mannerisms down.
actor has to play a cat in one movie, and that's why Dave.
Only one movie, though.
Only one movie. They have to. It's like in the Actors Guild. So Dame Judi Dench, she's like almost going to die, and she hadn't played a cat yet, so that she had to do
It
it.
would have tainted her
Same for
legacy.
Ian McKellen.
Yeah, it would have tainted her.
Right.
They would have taken her ladydom away.
Lady Dumb.
Her dame is
Yeah,
dame,
her
Damon.
her daming.
Her damedom.
Her name
Her
is
damedom.
Dame Dumb.
And so the last thing I have, which I think y'all might want to expound on because I can't, is this is based on T.S. Eliot's book, Old Possum's Book of Practical
That's
Cats.
where Kevy Z comes in.
Kevin, I think you had to read this
Yeah.
in
Yes,
school.
I had to read this.
I mean, we went to the same school, and I did not have to read this.
I had to read this
So
my
is the
freshman
movie
year of high
true
school.
to the source material?
Well, yes and no,
Okay.
because the source material is it doesn't flow into each other as the musical and the movie does. It's just about each of the cats.
You thought
It's
this?
a
Wait,
poem
wait,
about
whoa!
different cat.
You thought this movie flowed into each other?
It would no. Let me clarify. It was supposed to. It was these were supposed. The movie was supposed to connect like each of the cats.
Oh, there were a lot of supposed to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Why do you think I refused to see this when I was 12 with my family?
Yeah.
I've refused to see this.
You really stood
Oh,
your
when
ground
it was a
there.
musical.
X amount of
I
years.
was like, this
It
movie's
took-
it's
it-
3 days old.
It took Jesse to get me to this.
It is the fourth. Cats the musical is the fourth longest running Broadway musical.
I can believe
It has an impressive background. and
that
it's
doesn't make
Broadway.
it good.
No,
Here's what I don't understand.
it's impressive though.
It's impressive that it did so well for the source material because it's like a play for cats.
Are you talking about the play or the musical?
The,
Or the
the
movie?
musical. Well, both.
Okay.
It's because if you listen to the songs, it's like from the cat's perspective or what
Yeah.
a human imagines a cat would say. And so, how does this resonate so much with people?
Well, there are cat lovers in this world.
There's, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they say half the world is cat lovers, half the world is dog lovers.
I don't think the terms are mutually exclusive. I like cats and I like dogs.
I like cats and I like dogs.
I don't think you have to be a cat
Dude,
lover to
that's controversial.
dislike
Thank
this
you.
movie or-
I'm
Hot
one of
takes,
those- I'm one of
hot
those.
takes by Andy.
He's an includer.
I'm bipedal.
I'm tripedal. I'll try any.
Any pet?
Lately, I've been into
Well, this
skinny
is
pigs.
devolving into uncomfortable territory
Well, how
after we
about-
just saw a whole bunch of people in cat suits. So,
So
Skinny
how many
pig
how
is a
many
guinea pig
people
without fur, by the way,
had like seen the play or the musical before we saw this movie?
Well,
The only experience I've had with this is I know the tunes. The tunes were played in my house as a kid. I remember we had the album. We had the vinyl
okay.
that played in my house. And I know. That and Jesus Christ we had the reel to reel of Jesus Christ Superstar. And then I read the books. I read the poems. We had during poetry, whatever, the poetry 6 weeks.
Oh yeah,
in
okay.
my
I do
freshman year,
remember.
that's where I read
Yeah.
this. That's where I
I
read
want
the
to say
PB
I bought
Unums,
at some
whatever.
point in my life a DVD of the musical, and I may have sat through that one time.
I'm sorry.
Were you like forced to? Was it like some of your like they're holding your mom hostage and they're like, you must buy a DVD of Cats?
I just, I guess as a theater person, I thought it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
like-
if you're a
It's-
theater
it was a
person,
pretty-
you had
Yeah.
I
to.
think at the time I bought it, it may have been the longest running musical. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It
Yeah.
wasn't, you know.
I mean, it's very
years ago.
it's almost a meme of
I thought
Cats being a long running musical.
Yeah,
and,
I thought it was the longest running
I thought
Broadway
it was
music.
too. I thought it.
well, it stopped. It's no longer on
It-
Broadway. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Well, that makes sense.
Currently number one is Phantom of the Opera.
Okay, that makes
Sa-
sense. too.
same.
And Jesse, you'd seen Cats?
No, I hadn't seen the stage play. I knew some of the songs. I know memory from just it being everywhere since I was a kid.
You know, if ever a movie that we sat down to discuss on the Dirty Penguin Presents had an opportunity to be a 10 flipper film, this one, not it.
Oh my God! Thank you for saying that. I was holding back because I was so scared you were going to say that this might be a template
I would
because it's so
love
bad.
to sit here and
No.
pretend. I can't. I don't have the strength or the energy to pretend that anything we saw
Well-
tonight was. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. I'm still trying to wrap my head around
okay,
it.
we should establish first. Are we doing our review first, then our spoiler
Spoiler?
session?
I don't really think it matters.
Is there a
at this
spoiler
point.
part?
Can you spoil this
Can you
film?
spoil
I
this
mean, the
film?
Broadway.
Well, yeah,
it's
because there's.
existed
I mean,
for so
people
long.
probably want to know who the
I don't think
It's
people
not.
have.
It's not
any-
a faithful adaptation
I
of
don't
the
think
musical,
people have
but
any
we know
clue
that.
what the plot of this movie is, so we couldn't possibly
I
spoil
said that.
it.
I said I don't even understand what's. I
think part of the
I
problem
don't
is
understand
The
what's
whole
trying to
happening.
point is
put a
one
plot to
cat
it.
goes to Heaviside, and there could be someone sitting right now listening, going,
Well, my problem with this,
rooting for one of the cats.
the problem I had
Do you
with
know
this,
which cat went to the heavy side? Do you know her name? His
Yes.
her name. What?
Well, yeah, from the
Yeah,
movie I just watched.
Graciela?
Gris-
Graciela?
Isabella. Well,
Okay.
spoiler,
Isabella?
spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Oh, hang on.
At this point, if you don't know that Grisabella is the one that ascends,
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it's the same cat in the musical.
yes.
They didn't do anything controversial with who won.
Well, I think the only controversial thing they added was
Judi Dench.
add new music.
Well, I think the little weird side plot of McCavity making cats disappear. I don't think that's in
Again,
the
I wouldn't know,
musical.
though. I wouldn't know if that was
Yeah, I don't.
part
No.
of the
And then
source.
actually being on the barge and the
Well,
we were
wait, Angie,
discussing.
did you
well, I've
have
never.
any background? To,
I knew the songs.
right.
I knew a lot of the.
I knew
songs.
a couple of the songs.
I knew a lot of the
know all
songs, and I've like watched them on YouTube. I really like Elaine Page's
Mhm. rendition of
rendition
a
of
memory, right?
It's so I was familiar with it. I
Right.
didn't know the plot or anything, but in preparation for watching this movie at work, I was listening to because YouTube has like the playlist. You
Mhm.
just hit play and it
Yeah.
goes
Oh,
song by song.
Fantastic.
And so at work, while I was working, I had it going. So I was primed to watch this movie.
Why weren't you singing with the movie?
She,
Singing along?
wait, you don't think she was? She turned to me and was all like, Mr. Mustapha-Lees. I'm like, who are you?
Who is this person?
Well, in my memory of that song, just calling that song out because you mentioned it, my memory of that song is it's a much better song
Yes, it is.
than what they did in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the arrangements that, like the musical
Here's-
like how
okay,
they,
okay,
like the
here's-
music behind it. I wasn't a big fan of that.
And
Well,
and
I
some of
thought
the-
that was
go
the.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I thought I thought that was taken. What I read was that Tom Hooper was pretty loyal to the music.
Well,
the actual
The
arrangements?
sync and
No,
the 80s
the songs like this.
It
no,
did. No, it did. It did sound very 80s.
It was. We've discussed in previous musical episodes where some movies benefit from, or some musicals benefit from being turned into movies, and some do
Mhm.
not. This one did not.
No.
The songs that are sung, like they need the theater. They need
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they need that.
you're
like,
absolutely
energy,
right.
right?
that
The energy from a live
yes.
audience.
And so
Yeah.
it was
I think,
very
totally missing.
polished. Jason Derulo's songs were very, very polished and very, very clean and very, very produced.
And which
And-
one was he?
Rum tum
Rum
tugger.
Tum
Rum Tum
Tugger.
Tugger.
Okay.
The one with the tennis shoes.
Oh.
No,
Yeah,
the
the
one with the
Timberlands.
Tims. The one with the
I
Timberlands.
thought it was Chris Brown the whole time, and I had to look it up.
No, Jason
you
Derulo.
could tell it wasn't because he wouldn't beat
He's
the
the
shit
one.
out of him.
He's definitely the cat where I started realizing. I started looking at everybody's shoes.
Yeah.
Like for the rest
Yeah.
of the film.
Some had
well, some
Some
had
had
shoes.
shoes, some had furry
boots.
feet.
Some had furry
Some
feet. and
had
Some had
ballerina
ballerina
shoes.
He
feet.
had paws.
So some people, and that's
Oh
why
my
I'm just like,
God.
because some people you could see where the cat suit ended and their
Yeah.
human feet began, and I'm
Yeah.
like, was it supposed to be
I
that
think
way?
we're going to dig into
Okay,
that, but I
so-
just want to mention
Ro-
that's a clear sign of how poor the film is. That we are noticing and looking at stuff that should matter.
Well,
I shouldn't care that one person's wearing ballerina shoes and one
Mhm.
person's wearing sneakers, and then obviously you have the cats break out into their version of Starlight Express in the middle of the movie, which was really weird. But there's all kinds of strange crap that you're noticing and seeing because
Because the
movie's just not
it's not
there.
engaging you the way it should.
But the one thing I have to say about the topic of this movie shouldn't have been a movie. This musical shouldn't have been a movie. A lot of the songs are the exposition,
Yeah.
and if you're
Yes.
not following
It's all
along
of
with
it.
the song, you have no clue what's going on.
There-
That was my problem because I wasn't like I was just kind of trying to listen to the songs because I'm not trying to like. A lot of times when you hear songs, you just kind of like listen to the music of it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I realized like they're not explaining anything. That must have been in that song.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
you're absolutely right. People don't really listen to the words, and I don't know if you caught the trailer, the Trolls trailer.
Yes.
But the Trolls trailer right before this,
Yep.
Uh-huh.
they personify that when the happy little trolls are singing about rainbows and brushing your teeth, and the metal trolls are like,
Yeah.
But it's all like super heavy tunes,
yeah.
like rainbows are pretty and brush your teeth.
Yep.
That's the exact same thing.
You're
People
just
don't
listening to the
words.
music. You're not
Yeah.
listening to
And so
the
they
words.
give no exposition on what's going
Yeah.
on. And I was like, Jericho, Miracle, what was it? Cats?
Jellicle.
Jellicle Cats.
Jellicle.
Think of the
Never
word
explained
angelical.
it. But I'm sure they explained it in the song, but I was sitting there like, what's a Jellicle Cat? Like, I don't understand what that word is. And that's the rest of the movie. They're talking about, you're a Jellicle Cat, you're a Jellicle Cat, what the fuck's a Jellicle Cat? And they never explained it because they explained it in the song, and I didn't catch it in the song.
The
So I
opening
had
song.
no
Not quite
idea
sure
what
they
was going
I
on.
don't
explained
think
it. The
they
song, they
explained
just
it in
said
the
the
song.
word
Well,
50,000 times.
Yeah.
I was just hoping that
doesn't
they
mean
Just because they say Jellicle a bunch of times is not an
doesn't mean
explanation.
they explained
Well,
it.
they just gave descriptions of different kinds of cats.
I know that's all
They
that. But
gave and there's like, oh, if you do this, you're a Jellicle cat.
I missed one.
if you're
the
black
song.
and white, you're a
You're a
Jellicle
Jellicle
cat.
cat.
Yeah. Early on, I missed the cats have 3 names. They have the name their family gives them, and then they have their real name. I missed the whole, what was
But-
the second name?
Yeah, but they never talk about what the third name of that cat they're talking to is.
No, she's Victoria for the whole movie.
She's Victoria.
Yeah.
That's her name. That is
The
her
owner name, right?
the owner name. Yeah.
The owner that stopped in a car and
Yeah,
threw
but
out
they
the
didn't
sack.
And threw-
In a bag.
See you
I was
later.
like, this
See you
is
later,
dark.
Victoria.
well, it's
Shit
like the
is
Tom,
dark.
the Tim's was right there. Why didn't she just?
The
Toss in
Tims
the
or the
river.
Toss her in the
Times?
river.
I think
the
where most
Times?
people
The
who are
Times.
It's
throwing
not the
cats in
Times.
bags
The
usually
Tim-
go
you
for
You
it.
can't do
Call it
that.
the
Hold on.
Times.
You can't do that.
It can make you
You
angry.
can't just rhyme Thames with Ames.
You can't just pronounce it Thames to make it.
Yeah,
That
I kinda
man
thought-
is
I kinda
shoehorning
thought-
himself
I
into
thought
so much
James
stuff.
What was his
Gordon
name? Basis?
and the Gumby cat.
Spats cat.
Bussifish.
Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, the two of them I think
for
were ad-libbing jokes.
I could see that. I could
That's
believe
what I-
it.
Yeah.
I'll be
That's
honest.
what I felt.
I enjoyed James
I'm okay
Corden
with
in
that.
this movie. He was probably the most enjoyable person
I'm
in this
okay
whole
with
movie
that.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them,
Yeah.
them two going back and forth with each other, having a couple
That-
cute moments was fine with me.
You're absolutely. That was the best part of the movie was their dialogue together, and I would bet that it was if not 100%, very close to 100% ad lib.
The,
I
o-
think
and
they
the,
were-
o-
yeah.
and the only dialogue. There really wasn't
The only real dialogue, yeah.
in this movie. I mean, that's I
Yeah,
guess if
any-
you kind of didn't expect that, you'd be screwed.
I think anytime you saw
Yeah.
James Corden and Rebel Wilson either together or
Mhm.
individually, that is the only. You're right. That's the only time you get spoken dialogue. I think
Now-
Judi Dench has some spoken dialogue,
Uh-huh.
but
Probably just because she
Now
can't
them-
sing that much.
Just to clarify them together, because Rebel, like some of the jokes, y'all know that I love a good pun.
Yes.
Y'all usually laugh at them when I text out some funny things that are, when I do my puns and y'all
you mean this kind of laugh?
Like, no, that wasn't. You pushed the wrong button again.
Oh yeah.
You pushed the wrong. No, the other button when y'all explode and
Oh, yeah,
applause
yeah.
and applause.
That one.
Yeah.
I will say, Doug does appreciate your jokes.
Was,
If you get a boo out of me, it was so bad you deserve the boo, and
No,
it
I
was
know.
funny. No,
but I did have to. I did.
I have a confession. There are times I type LOL
and you didn't.
There
And you
was-
didn't
there
really.
was no-
LOL.
there was no- there
That's
was no
wrong,
laugh
and you
out loud.
shouldn't do that.
There wasn't.
But
I just typed
There
LOL.
was no LOL.
But I mean, when the what was it? Cat got your tongue. I was
Ugh.
like,
Ugh.
and then Rebel Wilson had a couple like.
that whole scene
What
where
did
they
she?
introduce
She had
her
a couple punny things, and it was really.
was such a trip.
you mean like every scene where they just introduce somebody? That's
the
just
whole
like-
movie.
the whole movie.
They're
I
just
mean,
like,
that-
hey, this
but
is this
that's the
cat.
movie.
Watch his, and
But
then he
that's the-
disappears.
okay, but that's the same as the play.
It really is.
These are all
It's
the
never
cats.
been
These are all the cats.
it's never been a
I guess I was
a
looking for
favorite
plot.
thing of mine ever.
No, well, the plot is these are all the cats that are up
Yeah.
for ascension.
Yeah, and that's
These
really
are
it.
all the cats that are vying to try to like go up into.
It's an excuse to sing songs
To sing
about the
songs.
different cats from the T.S. Eliot book, and
Right,
then they,
and
at
Andrew
the
Lloyd
It's
end-
the
Webber's
only way that
music.
Andrew Lloyd Webber could fit those poems, because the poems are just talking about
Yeah.
those cats. All he did was come up with the way that they all come together and they all interact
Yes,
together.
I don't think T.S. Eliot and I would agree about cats, though.
I don't think so either.
Like his group of cats and my group of cats that I would write about are not the same group of cats.
How so?
Join us on Dirty Penguin
I
Book
don't
Club
really
when we
know
go
what
over
to
T.S.
say
Eliot
about
with
that.
Andy.
No, I mean I'm just saying the poems,
You've had
the
different
cats, the
experiences.
railroad cat and the The
you mean Shimble Shanks?
the Gumby cat and
I took
and
pains trying to remember this.
Shimble Shanks,
y'all's
the top
favorites are
dancing
not my
cat.
favorites. My two favorite cats are probably Judi Dench and Ian McKellen.
I liked Ian McKellen. I think Ian McKellen had the best performance.
I think Katy Perry may have had the best.
Wait,
performance.
Katy
Well,
Perry?
she's
Taylor Swift.
Taylor
Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
Swift.
wait, you
whichever one was in it.
Oh,
You
I
mean-
disagree.
Katy
you mean
Perry.
Katy Perry?
Was
Oh
she
my
in it?
God.
She was
No.
not in
No.
it.
Oh,
No,
okay.
she wasn't in it. But
That's,
I mean,
well,
I
that's
took it off.
a
I
testament
took
to how good I guess the CGI
I'll be
is.
honest.
keep pressing the wrong buttons.
I thought Jennifer Hudson had the best performance. I thought she was the most like
Which-
emotional.
No.
Wait a
I
minute.
take that back.
No,
I take it
no.
back. No, I take
Don't
it back.
even get
I
me
take it back.
started.
Hold on, Jennifer
My
Hudson
favorite
is
performance was the snot bubble from Jennifer Hudson's
I
nose.
was about to say her snot,
Gets
and
it.
all I wanted to do was get a wipey and wipe her damn
Hey.
face.
And then I'm like,
You're
oh,
a
she's not.
cat.
She's
You
not.
have paws.
She doesn't have
Paw
snot
that shit
anymore.
away.
I was like, she doesn't have snot
Why
anymore. Oh
did
wait,
they
no,
do
there
that?
it is. Yep. Thank
And it
you
was
so much.
shiny.
Why
Well,
did
you
they
know,
do that
they're-
to her?
If they,
Why did they let
because
that
they're
happen?
you're
'Cause
supposed to
she's
be crying with her at that.
Okay,
Oh my
But
first
they
of
God.
all,
didn't even give her tears.
I
They gave her
know.
snot.
Yes, they did.
Well,
Yes,
they
they
did
did.
in the first. But in the
They had tears and snot, and it was really shiny, so it was
I
really
didn't see the
fake.
tears.
But then at the end,
I
like,
only
no,
saw
in the
snot.
in her first
in the
performance,
first
there were
performance,
tears.
was tears that
Yes.
turned into snot.
the second
but
performance was just snot.
Were all just snot.
Yes.
It was bad, and all I wanted to do, it's like you're a cat, take your paw, wipe that shit.
But this is what everyone's mad about with the director. Like, why would you let that get into the final cut? And he's saying that he didn't have time, and he's going to upload a new,
I know.
movie.
So I think this is
that cut wasn't purposeful.
This is a good. We
They put it
saw.
on
Snot is not
So,
a good
look,
look.
for
Ask
our-
sorry,
the
real quick.
girl from Blair Witch
They put
Project.
it on her. It's not real snot. They put that on
That's
her.
makeup.
What
They
does he
put
mean?
it over the makeup.
What is they put it over the makeup? So and it's really shiny, and it doesn't actually like
Move.
So it's like
I could not
Goo.
look at the screen
It's
when she
fake.
was on
My
screen.
thing
with
is, I
that
fake
think
snot bubble
absolutely
coming
it was
out.
purposeful.
Well,
if he's
and
saying he
that's-
meant to
yeah.
edit
Well, no,
that
and
out,
that's-
then
and
I
that's
think
my-
he's lying.
yeah,
Well,
that's my
and
point.
probably-
that is a lie. It's just
I'm
was received so
wondering-
poorly.
I'm wondering if Jennifer Hudson can't cry on camera.
Maybe.
She can't cry
On cue?
On cue. So they put the snot there. They make up the snot in there to make it seem like she's always like distraught or whatever, and that she's
But it
always
makes it look
crying.
so-
Or maybe
But it's just disgusting.
and it's gross.
It
It was really gross.
There was a
But the reason I liked her performance was you tend to see in especially big songs like Memory and I Dreamed a Dream, when you see some of the performances, sometimes like this famous Susan Boyle, we listened to it on the way over here, the Susan Boyle, I Dreamed a Dream.
Yeah.
If you don't listen to the words, you'd be like, oh, well, that's not a sad song. Well, she made it come off as like, I'm the saddest person in the world and blah, blah, blah. It came across really well for me. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like a really sad song. And then we listened like Elaine Page's version and it's just the booming, like, memory.
Beautiful. But
Yeah.
it's like people, because Elaine Page's rendition is so beautiful. If you don't listen to the words, you don't catch the fact that it is a very sad
So,
song.
and that's what
yeah.
I liked about Jennifer Hudson's
Well,
version.
no,
of
her
this.
her memory moment was a good moment for her. I just couldn't look on
It
screen
was
while she
horrible.
was singing.
It was just, I just couldn't believe they did that.
I couldn't look at her like glistening
snot?
snot.
What was just and I'm sorry if I'm the only one that misses. What was her story? That she was a good cat. Then she ran
was
off.
She
and
went
lured
with-
the
by
yeah,
the
she-
cavity.
yeah, she
But I
was
got
lured
some
by
line about-
McCavity and
So she ran away from her home to be with
I don't
McCavity.
actually know.
she ran away to be with McCavity and he
McCavity.
whatever.
Did you say McCavity?
It doesn't matter. and he corrupts
It's
her.
like
He
getting a
corrupts her
cavity.
and
And it
because
dumps her.
McCavity is a thief and he
He
right?
corrupted her.
He corrupts her and because of that, because of her
Did she get hit by a car or something? Like, she looked like she was run over or something.
maybe I
I think she was
can't
just
Well, I couldn't figure out why the
depressed.
other cats all seem to hate her too.
because of her connection to
Just because
McCavity.
That's what I gathered.
But those other two calico cats have a connection to.
And all the other cats were I think she was at one point the Taylor Swift cat.
See, that's what I was wondering. Was did Taylor Swift take her place in
Oh.
his?
That's
in
what I
his-
think. And he
I think
pushes
so,
her
yeah.
away.
Right.
I thought the Taylor Swift cat was just added there because Idris Elba is probably not the best singer.
Oh, he didn't sing at all, did he?
He
sings
sings.
He
sang
sings a
minimally.
couple
When he
lines.
when he decided to take his clothes off, he started singing.
That was-
As we all do.
Special.
Yeah.
Angie, will you?
What?
You said earlier that
What
you would
happened?
talk about Idris
Oh
Elba's-
no, not just Idris Elba. Just do you
The
think that
you
weren't
said
they-
you were going to mention
well,
crotches.
I'm getting there. Would you give me a second? My goodness, woman.
There's nothing to lead into this.
My
You just
point-
start
no,
talking.
there is. I have a lead in.
Idris Elba's dick. Go.
Tell us about
See, that's what I
Idris
wanted to
Elba's
see.
crotch.
I wanted to see that, and it wasn't there, unfortunately.
I think they
So I
CGI'd it
have-
out.
Can I
I'm
finish?
sitting right here.
Can I
Kevin's
finish?
giving me a weird look for some reason. I
No,
can't
so
figure out
do you think that they didn't catch all the other stuff that needed to be fixed because they were so busy CGIing out
It took so
camel
much work.
toes and
and twigs and berries.
camel toes and
And nipples.
and
The
and-
teats.
and
The
other
cheeks.
things
do-
that
or
belong
do you
under
think the
cats'
men
tails.
like tucked?
Yeah, the
There was a
starfish.
lot of nothing going on in any of the crotches of any of the
I don't
people.
think there was.
They were
but
Ken
there's-
dolls.
But
I get that decision.
like,
I
do you think they
guess.
just sat there and somebody like looked at the crotches frame by frame and had the CG out?
Yes.
And he,
Well,
like,
if you're gonna
any shadow-
attract a nice furry crowd, being a furry is partly about not knowing the gender.
Do you
Wait,
think?
wait,
do you
wait,
think?
hold on.
Do you think that was the?
How much
The
of that
point?
costume is a costume and how much of it was CGI?
I think it depends on the take, because I think far shots, wide shots, there were parts of it that were CGI. Tail, of course. Ears, absolutely.
Do you think the ears were
ears were
CGI
bad.
to move, or do you
Yeah.
think that they were like mechanically?
No, they
like,
didn't.
No. I
No.
think they were.
What was the
CGI.
budget? Did we find out what the budget on this movie?
$100 million.
$100 million
Yeah.
on this
I
budget.
think Ian McKellen's ears were real.
I can believe. So I think some of them. I think Dame Judi
Okay,
Dench's.
I think her costume
I
was
think,
real.
like in the close-up.
And the two of them had the best cat looks.
Yeah.
Yes.
They gave
They
the
had
two
the
of them
most
the best
natural cat, like
Yeah.
not CGI, not and like
For
but,
most of the people
yeah.
with the CGI ears, I felt like their ears were in the wrong place.
Now,
Yeah.
because what I noticed with Mr. Mistopheles towards the end, the magic Mr. Mistopheles song,
Yeah.
when he's taking his
he could
hat
have looked
on
so
and
much
off,
better too.
the ears, all I could see were his ears because they were floating in some.
Again,
Yeah.
I understand that this
Yeah.
is how good the movie is. The movie is so,
So we
good
saw-
that this is
Well,
the
just for
stuff
our
you're watching.
listeners, just for our listeners, we actually got to see the
Unremastered.
unfinished graphic version.
that they
The one that
released.
was
The
Early.
original release.
We got to see the EA Sports version of this,
The
where
original
the downloadable content finishes the game.
And I want to expound upon the budget because I read about this too, and they said it was between 100 million and 300 million
How do you?
for the,
How can you not narrow
which
that
tells
down?
which tells me that there's some lying going on. Like, oh, it was only, or when
If-
you give
I mean-
a number that's like, oh, it's to make yourself look better. Like, so the studio's saying it was between 100 and 300 million. It was 300 million.
That's a big spread.
I know. That's where the line. That's where the. You're not being completely
It's saying
honest.
$95 million.
I mean, maybe that is, but according to some articles,
if the studio is saying
there's-
we spent between 100 and 300 million dollars,
million.
I
There's an
guarantee you
article,
they spent
no
the lesser
cats
of that.
Didn't cost $300 million.
I guarantee you they
Well,
spent
but
the
they don't
lesser
want- they
of
don't
that.
The
want
lesser of
you-
that.
Yeah.
No, but see, I think it's opposite though, because I think they spent a lot and don't want us to know.
They don't want us
how
to know
much.
about it?
No, that's what I think.
Well, but
is
no,
that they spent
I would,
more.
I would disagree with that only
Really?
because in the
I mean-
in the financials, they would probably make more money if they say they spent more and made
You think
less.
okay.
Because they have insurance
They have
policies
insurance
that
policies.
cover all of that.
I'll give you a hot take. Maybe they should have got.
Maybe they shouldn't have done this movie.
Yeah. Maybe they should get like Andy Serkis to come in and show them how to CGI some
Oh
cats.
my God! Or how to be a CGI actor, how to
Something.
walk like
Because-
a
well,
CGI
Because
animal.
there are some serious
holy
serious
Lord.
So bad.
choices made with this film that you can't stick. Like in the opening sequence, and you're seeing humans pretending to be cats on all fours, and you know in the first 20, 30 seconds, this can't go on. Like they're gonna have to stand.
They will have to stand up.
They
They're gonna
intersperse
have
that
to
through the
stand up
Andy
at some
Serkis.
point.
Yeah.
That's what you
not-
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you
Not,
think
not Andy's circus.
And I'm just like,
That's a whole nother
I said,
thing.
I'm like,
That's
is
what
that a
Andy.
CGI company?
That's what Andy calls his bedroom.
There's a trap tease. Anyway, the thing with the,
Sex
Did you
scenes
say a
don't
trap
count.
tease?
trap
Trap tease.
I mix my words. Anyway,
He does take them to the big top.
anyway,
wait, Andy's speaking.
yeah, you know. I'm lost. Anyway, no. If you're gonna make a commitment to I would have liked to just said from the start of the movie. We like the Broadway musical. I'm sure when you go see it, it's actors in costumes. Just do that. Just do that and make that choice and stick with it.
But
for
they
an
made
hour
a
and half.
choice to
2
put
hours. But
all these. They maybe
they
shouldn't
do
have
weird-
picked.
They do
10
weird things at some
A-list
point.
stars.
I ain't got a vocal guffaw from me at one point when they had the cattails go up to show some cat holes like cats do.
The
But
non
there's
cat
no
hole.
cat holes.
No, non-starfish.
Which is Kevin's complaint.
There was no butthole.
He wanted
There's no
more
buttholes or
starfish.
But they went to the point of having the tails go up to show us the cat hole, just like a cat would do. In a particular, it's towards the end.
Yeah, no.
I know
I
what
know.
you're saying. I know
I
what
know
you're
what
saying.
you're
All
talking
the
about.
tails went
It's
up.
in
And all
the
the tails-
cats step up to the streets
And all the
version of this movie.
all the cats went up, all the tails went up, and I guffawed. Because cats will do, and you got to watch them.
Ever seen
Sometimes
this?
they walk backwards into your face. Hey, check this out, my cat hole.
They're very
Boom,
proud.
bah.
They're very proud.
Why do you
animals.
take the time to put that into your cat musical?
Okay, I'm glad that they left
Movie.
the cat buttholes out.
I'll be honest, Andy.
Like
You always used to
Good
make the
choice
joke
there.
about no teats in this movie. It started bothering me after a while.
The no teats?
Yeah. It started bothering me.
It's just that there was a lot of inconsistencies. They didn't stick to what they like. Anything.
Sometimes
You're right.
Not the ratio, the scale of the cats
Oh,
to the
yeah.
background.
You're not
No, you're right.
lying.
It varied.
You know what they did? I think-
dramatically.
They said, what would Kevin Costner do in Robin Hood? Oh, well, that's what we'll do. We'll just start something and then not
finish it.
Just go straight to the mice. The mice were mice size
The
for if
mice-
they were people, but everything else is sized for if they are cats. So those are the mice were the same size as the roaches.
That's what I noticed.
The mice
I
and
thought
then
that was weird.
the little children CGI faces on the mice was really creepy because they were really human faces.
All of it was kind of creepy.
Well, because what it is they had human faces. Normally, when you do a
the
a
roaches,
rat,
too.
they have the they have like the rat nose,
pointed nose. Yeah.
the pointed nose to give it the rat like appearance, and they didn't do that. It was
looked
just
more
like
Chuck E. Cheese rats
was-
with human faces. I don't.
But even
anyway,
Chuck E.
Chuck E.
Cheese
Cheese
has
has
the
the
rat
rat
nose.
at least no. Everything.
give it-
No. The size and scale of everything didn't make sense.
When they go
and then
to
you got
the,
stuff like a milk bar, which you would understand cats going to a milk bar, except these are cats living in a
In
human,
a human world, I know.
And so, I mean, again, these are things that I
They
shouldn't
also
be
had a
thinking about because the
casino.
movie should have been so good that I was enjoying the movie instead of going, why are their faces
there was a lot of
sliding
cat
off?
puns.
Exactly.
In the names.
I said as we were coming to record this, I made the comment. How do you turn in work like that? How do you turn and say that it's a finished
There's
product
No,
ready
how
for
did,
release?
how did somebody sit and watch this and go, oh, people are going to love this?
I know.
Well, this is what I was.
when there's faces sliding off, ears hovering,
Yeah,
You know, there's a-
rodents that are the size of roaches and cats.
and all had human faces.
So when I
Right.
go see a movie, one of the things that I warn myself about is expectations. Okay, because if my expectations are really high, I tend to not like the movie very much. Like if I say, "Hey, I'm going to go see John Carter, that Mars film,"
I remember.
right?
mhm.
I'm a fan of those books. I read all the books. I wanted to see a great movie, and I went and saw it, and it was
that was
it
a
was
huge
horrible.
disaster.
Right. So, but going to see Cats, I'm thinking this is all I've read all these terrible reviews. It's going to be a horrible film. I'm going to absolutely hate it. And then yet in the back of my mind, there's this trick playing on my head going, if my expectations are so low, I might have a chance of enjoying this film. Like I might. So I have
Yes.
a chance of going, I was puzzled. They actually had me laughing or something. I don't know. I knew it was going to be bad, but like Halloween 3 is bad. It's so bad it's fun.
Mhm.
This wasn't fun. There was about like 2 minutes into this. I go, holy crap! This is going to be a lot. How long is this? I didn't pull my phone out, but I wanted to pull my phone out and Google how long am I in for because I was.
I thought the same
And
thing.
I swear I was only 2 minutes in when it hit me in the gut that oh my god,
This is
is
what
not
I'm
going to be
into.
a fun ride. That
I told
scared
you.
the hell out of me.
About 4 songs in, I even typed out, these songs suck. I do
It
not.
took you 4 songs.
There's no. So even Newsies, Popeye, these like memorable songs. These were not. I didn't. Memories is obviously a memorable song, and like I was like, oh wow, this is nice. But
I feel like
every
the
song,
songs
I
are
was
more
like,
memorable because I already knew them from the musical than from seeing this movie. Like if I had just
Oh, yeah.
seen this movie, I don't think
And I'd never-
I would know anything.
I had new memories because I've heard it. Maybe from the
I
commercial.
almost think that this movie relies on the fact that you've seen Cats before,
I would agree 100%.
And two, the movie is really made for people who have performed in a version of Cats and want to believe that they have done something.
That's very niche to do that
It's a very
for
niche
and spend
market.
$100 million on it.
I think they spent $100 million making a movie for people who had, at one time or another, performed in a version of Cats.
Cats.
who have done community theater versions of Cats.
Yes. And they sit there and they go, oh, that's what we were doing. That's just like when we
Look,
did it.
That's who I played. I was from Tumtuga.
And the
I
sad
showed my
part,
cat-
When I was at 1960 Playhouse, you don't understand. That's exactly how we did it.
That's who I think this movie was for. And that's who likes this
I
film.
think they overshot this one. I think people thought there was too much interest when the interest wasn't there.
I was
and-
embarrassed for the actors. There's
Well,
times
that's
that I was
what
just like, oh
why
my
did they
God.
why did they shouldn't have
What are these
stuck? They
people with
should have
these great
stuck to.
careers going to do now?
I mean,
Who?
I'm saying they shouldn't have
I
gone
think
to the
Taylor
A-listers.
Swift is gonna be okay.
I think Taylor
Why
Swift's going
did
to be
they go
fine.
to the
Tay-Tay's going to be
A-listers?
all right.
Well, she also had
Well-
probably the best little, because her little section comes out like a quick music video. She's in, she's out, she
Ugh.
does her stuff.
Yeah,
And
but
she's
terrible.
gone.
She's probably the
Fucking
least tainted of
horrible.
the entire film.
Which one?
Taylor
Tay-Tay.
Swift.
God, it was
Really?
horrible.
I'll be
Oh, I
honest,
didn't
I
think
don't
she did a good
remember
job.
a thing about her performance. It's forgettable for me. I don't remember it.
I thought we were about to
She
see
had the
Kitty
largest
rave.
boobs of any cat, Doug. I don't know.
She did.
Maybe
She
I'm-
did have the largest.
She had the
She
largest
did
cat
have
boobs.
the
boobs
largest
of any cat.
rack.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, and she's
She-
known for
her
having
cat-
big boobs, big hips too.
cat
Like,
rack,
that's what
her
she's like
cat
known
rack was
for.
more out there than Dame Judi Dench.
Yes,
who
it
was her cat rack was hidden by her coat.
Yeah.
You want to see more cat rack?
Anything to make this film better.
My
Well,
question:
I
When do you think the porn version of this will be out?
Oh, it's already been out. It's got to
It came out before this.
I'm
before
working on
this.
it.
There's no way it doesn't exist. What is it? Rule
And-
56?
Rule 34.
Rule 34?
And what are the names of the cats?
Probably the
I
same.
get it. I get it. You're using the T.S. Eliot stuff, but like, it's just.
Well, like if you
The
don't like the
names-
music, then you probably wouldn't have liked the Broadway play.
Yeah, I 100%
So I
agree.
mean, there's already
I
that.
thought they were trying to plot it up
Well,
for
but
like,
like, so
for
for
like
instance,
little kids.
I
Like-
had never seen Les Mis until I saw the movie of it.
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed most of the songs in Les Mis. Like they're catchy songs.
Yeah.
They're
And
like
they were-
very
and
Did
they
you
were
know
well
the song?
sung.
Were you familiar with the songs before you saw the movie?
of what
Of
Les Mis.
just I Dreamed a Dream, but I never. And then Weird Story. You know the.
I don't mind the
The
movie Les
Resistance
Mis,
lives on.
but I
Yes.
prefer the live.
Well, but I'm just saying, like,
And the way
and I,
fights.
but even
But I just-
even the movies we've seen in this season, I've enjoyed the music of all of them. I did not enjoy any of the music. This music, I didn't find any of the songs good,
No,
and
I disagree. I did.
I enjoyed the theater cat. I enjoyed Ian McClellan's performance
I
and his
I
song.
kind
That's
of
the only
liked
thing I
the
enjoyed.
music.
But he's a theater person.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
exactly.
he
so
was
so
able
is
to
Dame
do
Judi
it.
Dench.
So they were able
Yeah.
to.
They've probably done this on
and that's
stage.
just it. Like, this is a theater musical that needs to be in the theater. I don't think it benefited from becoming a movie.
Not one.
Not
pro-
one bit. Like, none of the CGI worked
I
for
think
it.
I think
None
it
of
suffered.
the scaling. Yes, it suffered. None of the scaling that they did to make them look like they're cat-sized worked for them.
Yeah,
None of it worked.
It was a hot mess.
Well, my problem with Ian McClellan was I'd already checked out by the time he showed up,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, I didn't care by then. I was like, this, I don't care what he does, and then everything he did annoyed me, just because I was so annoyed with the movie.
Yeah.
You know,
I think when about maybe 10 minutes in, I leaned back and I closed my eyes and I said, you know what, I'm not going to cheat. Because I actually thought about maybe if I'll just take a nap, it'll all be over. But I said,
tried
you know
and
what?
I got woken
You
up.
know what?
I
I'm
was
not-
sitting
I
right
said-
next to
I
you,
said
and I would have not
I'm
let that
not
happen.
going to cheat. And I opened my eyes back. And
You know-
I stayed awake. And I watched the whole thing. And it was, there was some suffering. Like there were some times when I was laughing
In
and I was
fact-
like, this hurts.
You know what he did when he got in his car? He sang memories because of all the pain he suffered from having to watch this movie with the tears of his
Oh my God.
It took him so long to get here. He had to get tissues. You know?
Oh, if only that were true.
I mean, this was a special. Okay, first, y'all have got to take away that this was a special occasion. We all five got to see this together in the theater together.
You
First time the five of us have been in a theater together.
I'm happy we all saw this
You know-
together.
you know
I'm happy that as a
Don't-
group we got together and
tarnish
saw a movie.
the memory.
Yes.
I'm not going to be happy we saw this.
And there's nothing against the memory of us all in the theater ripping on this bad movie.
Doug,
No.
Doug tried to leave.
Doug tried to sneak out and go see Star Wars.
I should have just brought the mics and recorded right there for
We
me.
should
I
have.
had my recorder. If we'd have been alone in the theater, I had
could've
my
done it.
recorder.
We
We
could've
would have
done
done
a
that.
Yeah.
As we're watching it, hot take as in the theaters.
Right?
Man.
You can't get more live than that.
That was
Did you expect more out of this?
I swear, one time I thought Jess was so caught up in the film. She was
he
sinking,
turns to me
crying.
like, "Are you crying?" And I'm like, "What? No, I'm trying to not look at
I
the
thought she was
flowing
crying
like
when she was singing
lava
"Memory"
out
the
of
first time.
I
Jess.
thought,
And
you know
I was
what
like-
though?
I
And if
thought
the
she-
snot
I was like,
hadn't
oh
been
my
there,
God,
it's a
this
very.
is-
She did very good job of making it very emotional.
That's
and
what she did.
And then, but then like they did that snot, and you're like, this sucks. What's going
I
on?
can't watch
I
it.
think the
I can't
problem for
look
me
at her.
with the emotionality of
Look at it.
of the moment in which they did it was it came out of nowhere, and it was like,
That I agree.
Oh, now we're all sad. But that's how I felt
But
about the
then
whole movie.
they don't. She's not like they don't explain why she's sad because you had to listen to the song, and yet again, you're just kind of like trying to listen to the music, trying to enjoy it, and then like, oh, that's your exposition. If you
Well-
missed it, you missed it.
And again, when we're talking about the choices the director made, there are times when cats are doing a whole number about who they are, singing "Memory" or singing whichever cat, and they're stuck in the set they're on. And then there are some cats that we like the Starlight Express moment, where suddenly we're on the train
the rail?
tracks,
Yeah.
right? We're magically whisked to that cat's, but it wasn't. I don't feel like it was consistent. Like never knew kind of what was going to happen. And they went to the Gumby cat to watch her
Mm-hmm.
in her abode.
Yep.
And then they're
Rebel
all in,
Wilson. the kitchen.
Yeah.
and then they're all in the theater. I guess when Gus comes out, I don't know. I was they were just kind of.
I did enjoy the tap dancing. Like I thought to myself, they need to bring back tap
That's what I
dancing.
did.
That's something I could get behind.
I wish I would have seen this in the theater.
Well,
because I think I would have enjoyed it. I did.
Oh, you
like,
mean like the
I
theater
did like
theater,
some
not
of
like
the,
the movie
I did
theater.
like some of
Okay.
the songs. I could see how the songs were entertaining. We were talking on the way to the movie, Kevin, that I had heard that the play there's a they look at the they talk to the audience.
They break the
this
fourth
is what
wall
I've
early.
heard. Now someone might say, "What do you learn?" But yes, they break the fourth wall, just like Judi Dench
Well,
in
yes,
the
at the
last
end.
scene. She's kind of addressing us.
Yeah.
So they do that much earlier.
It's really tough for me.
Well, I mean, well,
people got.
I'm just-
I started shaking fists at people after
I'm just saying
during that scene.
If you want to talk about inconsistency, the whole movie we're supposed to be watching a life. This is the Jellicle Ball. Well, at the end, Judi Dench is looking right at us, talking to us, telling us how to address a cat and all this stuff.
Well, she's really
and
telling us that cats are not dogs.
no one.
Which I don't know if that was supposed to be deep or something.
but that's
But
what
I
I
kind of
mean.
know
Like,
cats are not
there was
dogs.
none
so
of that.
going into the movie, I
But
knew
do
that.
you, Andy?
Do you
I-
really?
Or did you not before this?
I knew that.
Did they
And she
ever tell
repeated
us
it twice, and she's very serious about it.
Did they ever tell us if Mr. Miraculous is a clever cat? Whatever his name is, Mr.
Mistopheles?
Mistopheles. Is he a clever cat? I don't know. I don't think they said that enough.
You know,
I was like, okay, I get it.
It
He's
was-
a clever cat.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't think he
he's a
is.
clever
I
cat.
think he's a dumb cat.
I think in the original musical, that is just another cat number.
yeah, they're
He's
just a bunch of
Mephistopheles, and they're telling you about him. He's one of the ones up for the
the
competition.
musical just
In
showcases
the movie, they
Andrew
tried to
Lloyd
make
Webber.
it part of some kind
It
of
reprises
overarching plot.
Yeah.
that
Some
they were
kind of-
trying to.
Romance? Was the
Well, they also
was
had a little
Victoria
romance.
supposed to be a kitten?
I think Victoria had a bigger role than
Is this
than
like
was in the
some-
play.
Kitty pedo.
No,
Furry.
Was she supposed
Furry.
to be a
no.
kitten?
I've heard that there are already groups of people in cat costumes going to see the film and kind of performing in front of it. Like
I
they're
am
doing,
sure that
Rocky
there were
Horror Picture
people-
Show.
I'm sure that there were people in cat costumes doing this before this movie came out.
Yeah.
Not
true.
affiliated with the musical,
who can now have a place to go to perform.
right?
That's kind
Is it going to be like
I think that would have been a much better show than what we saw.
every
I'm
other
kind of
weekend?
curious to see what history does to this film. Will this be a cult classic in 5 years?
I don't think so.
You never.
I don't think so. No.
It depends on how many people want to dress up in cat suits and go sing the songs.
I mean, there have been some really bad movies that have gone on to cult fame.
I think if you're a fan of the Broadway play, you're gonna
No.
appreciate the song. Like if you
No.
know the songs.
I'm gonna
No,
say,
I
I'm
think
gonna
you'd be
go on
upset.
record
I
as
would-
saying
I would
right
be
now
upset.
I
that
don't
no matter
know.
how big the cult fandom gets, I will never be on board with this film. Like I'll never be like, oh yeah, it's really great. I missed that.
It's one of those, oh, I've changed my mind. No.
When
It's
we
not
do,
one.
we're going to do a 10-year anniversary episode, and it'll be like, what movie were you wrong about? Andy will say Cats. Guaranteed.
He's like, I brushed my teeth that movie.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
maybe the sequel.
Cats 2.
Cats.
The cat eating.
Cats 2 on the move.
The
This
Cats
time,
2,
Mr.
the
Mistopheles
litter
means
box.
business.
yeah, I'm not real sure.
Well,
That yeah.
can we go around and everyone say one positive thing about
I have no positive things to say. I take that back.
in the,
I will start.
in the
I will start.
spirit of
Okay,
the
I will start.
season.
I would have liked this movie if I would have been on mushrooms.
Andy.
This movie is over. we got through it. We survived. Nah, I guess if I want, I don't. Yeah,
Y'all are playing the game,
He's,
right?
he's trying. He's
I'm
trying.
trying.
Just think, what would
Man.
Okay.
Well, what
Who
a
was your-
jellicle
come back,
cat.
come back.
Who was
What
your
would a
favorite
jellicle cat
character?
say?
Yeah, what was your favorite cat, and what was its name?
What was its cat
What
name?
was
Yeah.
I don't
three
know.
names?
It's
Okay.
three
Yes,
names.
three
Yeah, what's the
names.
third name?
Did they give Taylor Swift's cat a name?
Oh no.
Her performance was the most entertaining thing for me.
No, I didn't like. I didn't like
that was
that
it.
at all.
Okay, hold on. Her name.
Her British accent was
Bomb
terrible.
ballerina.
Oh,
Oh
she's
my
not
god,
British?
they didn't even say. Did they even say that?
Yeah.
Bomb
And, like in the
ballerina?
movie?
I don't know.
Yes, they said it. They say every one of their
cat's name.
names, and I'm just sitting there like, what's their name? So that's
I
the thing.
forget what.
Why? I get you're
'Cause
using the
her song-
T.S. Eliot
Okay.
poem, but man, just change the name because like I couldn't follow.
But
what
you
their
didn't like Rum
names-
Tum Tugga?
It made no. And then like when they're like Deuteronomy, they're doing the whole Deuteronomy, and it was like they were like trying to shoehorn rhymes to it, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
That's a T.S. Eliot poem, isn't it?
I'm just saying, change the
shoehorn
names.
the
I
rhymes.
get it.
That's
T.S.
true.
Eliot, he can roll over in his grave. He's dead.
Well, that's
He's not.
what
No
I-
one's gonna be upset about it.
That's what my point is a little bit about.
You know how close-
It's all source material. Not only are you going to a book of poems from the 1930s, you're also going to a play that was in 1981. I mean, we're reaching back here to a lot of source material that you can't really. I think I do have to say, I think like the screenwriter and the director Tom Hooper were had their hands tied a little bit with.
With what?
Well, you can't just change all this stuff. This to someone who loves cats
With
the play.
they should have just. Why did they
are
just
not-
make
they're not
Cats
gonna
the
win
play?
it.
I was gonna
Why
say-
did they?
I was gonna say he has
Yeah,
hand ties
my-
with the hit musical Cats that ran for 30
with
years.
changing names and changing.
I know
stuff.
that's my question.
Is that why
and
I
I think
think
where
it's-
Andy's coming from is why make this movie?
There's no
I-
reason.
Well, let me ask you. Hold on.
I agree.
Have your parents had any desire to go see this movie? Because that's the people who made Cats.
Oh,
what
no
Cats
kidding.
is. And if they're not going to see this movie, like people our age, and we're
I talked to them today. What did they say? Did they say
They
that?
were,
was that-
they were
oh,
just like, oh,
I'm-
really? I
yeah.
mean, they didn't care.
yes, that's the
They
people who
weren't like,
made
oh,
it.
I want to see that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah,
It's
we're-
very true.
And we're in our 40s, early.
Hey, hey,
30s.
I think-
well, I'm sorry. I'm
hey.
sorry. We're in our late 20s, early 30s.
Speak for yourself. I'm 15.
Speak for yourself, man.
I think I'm doing pretty good for being
I'm
15
fine
years
with
old
that.
with a baby.
I'm fine with that analysis,
But
Doug. Go
I have
ahead.
no one. I have no one. Like no one I know in my
Age
circle
ain't
of like
nothing but a
work
number.
or friends have said, "Hey, man, I can't," or have said, "Hey, we're gonna go see Cats the play." Like that's never been a thing. Like
Well, it's not on
Les
there, so-
Mis, you can see some of the Phantom of the Opera,
Yeah.
some of those classical ones. Cats,
But we're
is-
also not New York. I think it's a very New
Well,
York
I-
thing. People go to New York
Yeah.
and they
I
go
think
see
that
Cats.
the New York
Or at
tourist
least-
You know why?
industry
You know why? You
is
wanna
why
know why
Cats was
people
long.
go
Because people
to-
had to see something on Broadway.
That's what it is.
That's what
And
I
it was
mean.
probably the cheapest ticket.
And that's
And-
one they
and-
But
can get
that's
tickets
what I
for.
mean. Those people.
the
Those
cheapest ticket, something they'd heard
No.
of.
I mean, I liked some. I liked it. I wish I would have seen it in the theater where it did shine in the. Maybe its flaws in the movie were better in the theater. What I'm saying about being hands tied is like sticking to the source material. What they should have focused on, if they're going to focus on anything, is to get the CGI right the
Right.
first time. Is to get like have
Yeah,
consistency
because-
with what you're doing, because the songs are not going to change. You keep the songs to make the true hardcore fans happy. Add one song, which they did. They added one thing, and they're written by Taylor Swift and
If
Andrew
the
Lloyd
cats
Webber,
had looked like the Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz,
which I thought Judi Dench
think
kind of
it-
did.
She
Wait,
did.
the
No,
fun-
you're right.
yes.
She did.
She did.
she did, but I think
And she
I
looked
don't,
the
I
most
don't think you
cuddly
needed
out
all
of
the
all.
CGI.
If they had just
No.
went with makeup and
Well, that's what I'm-
costumes,
that's what I was about to say.
I would have been happier.
If they
than what
would've went-
did.
That's what I'm saying.
If they would have
could've-
went
yes.
with stage actors.
That's what I'm saying. Too.
Yeah,
Why did
stage
they go
actors.
for
No
A-listers?
Rebel Wilsons,
Yeah.
no Dame Judi Dench's, no Jason Derulo's, and goddamn no fucking Taylor Swift's because she's terrible.
and trying to shoehorn a plot on top of this, like
Thank
a plot
you.
that doesn't exist even in the musical. There's no
Right,
plot in the
but it
book. There's no
plays
plot
better
in the
in the
musical.
theater.
And
Get
suddenly
people
you're-
that are
So
used to
does
playing
McCavity
these
not
characters.
want to
Right.
be? He's not kidnapping them and all that, or
He just
in
wanted
the
to go to
musical,
heaven.
I think he's just another one of the cats. He's just a bad cat.
Well, I think he does
He's
try to
like Heathcliff.
sabotage them, though, right? Because
In
he
the
wants
musical,
he's trying to sabotage
He's
them.
a Broadway
Heathcliff, yeah.
play?
I wonder why. Did they cut the Garfield stuff?
I thought I honestly.
And where was
Where was
Heathcliff?
Normal?
my first thought when I saw
Normal
the
got
Gumby cat was,
shipped to
oh
Abu Dhabi.
Lord, it's Garfield. Here's Garfield.
She wants
Somebody
lasagna.
give her lasagna. Yeah, that was my first thought. Somebody give her a lasagna, please. Let's move on.
Okay,
That's so
I've seen
bad.
him.
That's so wrong.
This was Monday for that cat. Someone's got a case of the Monday.
I think I kicked someone's ass and they told me that.
No, man. No.
I would have. You know what? They would have shoehorned in comic cats into the movie. It would have been like there way Garfield was one of the Jellicle
Right?
cats. Oh,
You know,
I could get behind that movie.
I would have
I
loved to
know,
see,
right?
like a Snagglepuss.
I know. If it would have been
Pink
all
Panther.
the cats, Cringor from He-Man.
Like every
Yeah.
cat, Thundercats.
Yeah, Thundercats.
Thundercats the
Lion-O,
musical.
some
Yeah.
Lion-O
They
and
come
some-
out with
some
Thundercats
Mumra.
the musical.
And some
We
hot-
ever see that.
If they had replaced all of these cats with the Thundercats,
That would have been a good show.
with some hot
Thundercats.
Chitara.
Some hot ass fucking Chitara. Yeah.
Chitara singing
That would be her-
memories.
That would be her song number 2. Thundercats.
Chitara
Oh.
instead of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna agree with you on that. Yeah,
I wasn't a big fan of Thundercats as a kid, but I would watch that.
Hey,
Yeah.
guys, go to our website. We have a link to our Kickstarter for making Cats
We're making
remake.
Thundercats
but
the
with
movie.
Yeah, it's a crossover. Thundercats Cats crossover.
You know you want to see it.
Sword of Swords. Give me the memory.
Mumra's kidnapping them. Yeah.
Yeah, Mummer's yeah.
Oh.
Now that's a show. That's a
And
musical.
they've just written a better
Thunder.
movie.
Cats.
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
All right, flippers.
What about him?
Do you want to give them?
Hold on. Angie, did you have a positive thing to
Your-
say about
your
this movie?
Oh
positive
yeah, we didn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
any positive.
Give us your positive.
Yeah,
note.
what's positive
I
about
didn't-
One
this?
positive or one character you like.
I
We're
didn't-
starting to get broader.
I didn't hate it.
See, there you go. I didn't.
I like how that's the positive.
Would
See?
you watch it again?
No.
If you didn't.
No, and here's the
Do you want to
If-
go see the play now? The musical?
no, because I can watch it on YouTube.
Thank God. Woo.
No,
Yes.
I don't want to sit through it.
Dodge a bullet there.
The reason
I mean, like they
I
do.
think the songs fell flat for me is because I did watch the uploaded play version on YouTube, and the songs just have so much more
Because it's
soul to them.
It has energy.
It
It's
has
the live energy.
and it's like the actors, and it just does so much better live than what they did in this movie, and so everything kind of fell
I
flat.
think the arrangements are better in the
In the musical?
in the musical.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would.
and
The way they put the song, yeah, it's just better.
and a lot of these songs are meant to be like projected out. They're
Yeah.
written and they're put together in such a way that the actor that's playing the part like projects out into the audience. And this was just too polished, and it was badly done. And the CGI was unnecessary.
Yeah.
It was like Green Lantern with the unnecessary green suit.
Yes.
CGI green suit.
His
There's a lot of
animated green suit.
yeah. It was unnecessary. Just put them in the Wizard of Oz lion
Yeah.
costume. Put them in like cat costume.
And then just make a set that's larger stuff.
Maybe you could have taken that movie. You could have made an animated Cats musical.
I think that would have
might
been good.
Better.
So
That would have been cool.
It was before
actual
Tom Hooper
cats.
got involved. It was supposed to be an animated movie.
I think
So
that
Tom Hooper-
would have made sense. That would have been better.
It's the worst.
Like I said, I liked him in Limited. I liked his Limited. I like that.
Yeah, I think he was really surprised
I'll
with
say
all
the
the
thing I-
blowback.
The thing I liked about this was I like the actual actors. The actors who were in this were probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
in this or in their other stuff.
No. Like in this, like
I like the actors when they do other things other than
I
this
liked
movie.
all the people who were actors in it. I didn't care for a lot of the singers. You know, the people who
I
like
didn't recognize
exclusively-
a lot of the people. I mean,
And,
were
like,
actually
and then a
singing?
lot of them, I think, were more Broadway-ish people. Was you know the cat? I could never think what his name was. Who I thought was the original love interest, but the gray cat.
Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Mistopheles?
No.
The other
Oh,
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gray Cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I
And
forgot
then
his
like
name.
he just
I think
didn't do anything.
like real cats, the love interest was between everybody.
Yeah.
and then
Oh, yeah.
and then when they
Yeah.
like act like cats occasionally, and it just bothered me.
That's what bothered me too. Is occasionally.
Yeah,
It's
and they'd be like Ian McClellan would like rub his face, and then they'd like rub their heads together, and then they'd not do it
And
for
then
like
they would
30,
remember-
40 minutes,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden then they're like acting like cats again.
Oh, remember,
I think,
don't forget
but
guys were playing
that's where I
cats.
think Ian McClellan
Yeah.
was more consistent with his acting
I agree.
of a cat. That's
Yeah,
why I think
felt like-
his
I felt like
performance was
he had
the
spent
better
like
version.
a week in a room with a cat. He was definitely the best
Cat.
and most consistent with his cat.
Well, I mean, I
Yes.
think Judi
like
Dench
he had
and
a
Ian
very
McKellen
consistent.
I mean,
together.
Like again,
Come on
I
now.
think he's probably spent a week in a room with a cat, or he owns a cat. And he said, "I'm going to base this off
He
Fluffer."
seems like a cat person.
And he looked at
Yeah,
that cat.
I would
and
guarantee you he owns a cat
I-
or several.
right. And I think he went as an actor and said, "How would Mister
How would
Peanut
Mr.
butter
Silly
act.
Paws do this?
Silly
Yes.
paws.
That is-
Mr. Cutie McCutums.
what would he do given this opportunity?"
Mhm.
Yes, that's what he did. He's a solid actor.
That was. I'm glad we did it.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Doug, Doug, what's your positive?
Oh yeah,
I told you, I like the movie stars.
Oh, they did.
I like the actual
Okay.
the movie that
and other
likes the
actors. He liked the movie stars in
And
their
other
other
movies,
movies,
that's right.
that they've done.
I didn't care for this movie at all. I could.
Are we giving this? Do we need to go around and give
A
it
little bit.
flippers?
No,
Or
I'm
y'all
kind of
kinda-
curious. I've obviously given 0 because there's nothing redeeming about
yeah,
this.
same
movie.
here. I'm 0. If I could give negative flippers, I
I'll
would.
say I got like my positive was like I got a little bit of a shine off that turd because I just polished a turd to give you a positive.
I'm not. I can't give a flipper. No, I can't do it.
Here
I
it
don't
comes.
give a flip.
Well, okay. The thing with me is, I was grossed out a couple of times with the eating of the cockroaches.
Oh
So
yes, thank you.
gross.
I thought that was
And-
disgusting. I thought they were beetles. Didn't
and
they call
then
them
they're-
beetles?
They
in
call
the
them
film?
beetles, but
No,
they're roaches.
No, that she mentioned. She does say
no,
that.
she
I think
was.
you used both words.
She did.
No, she
both.
said they did a Beatles musical
Oh.
with cockroaches.
Oh, really? Because I caught that too. I caught
Okay.
Beatles, and then later she.
It was
called
Sergeant
them-
Pepper. They were.
And then later on,
talking
she's like,
to Sergeant Pepper.
I lost
Oh,
my
that's
cockroaches, and I
I
was like,
missed that.
cockroaches.
It was dumb.
I missed.
It was
I
dumb.
completely missed like
Lame.
any.
I heard the Beatles joke, and I thought that they were
That's
But
beetles.
what
that's the first scene too, where you start to realize size has no concept in this film.
Yeah. If they had been Beatles, that would have been a good
There's
joke.
too many mistakes.
Yeah.
I have my way. They could have made it better. I'm sorry. I have to give it 0 flippers because
Wow, you were the holdout. Well, you were the one we were
No,
worried about.
I thought you were going to be at least one.
if probably not the stage play. I actually wouldn't mind. I would see it.
Yeah, that's-
I would go see.
You
it.
I
and
might
Angie-
not drag
I would
you
still
do
see
it.
the.
Thank you.
You,
But
Angie, and
I will.
Andy, y'all three
No,
can go see
well,
it.
I mean, I'm not going to
Me and Doug will go see Star Wars.
the musical.
I would see Star Wars.
Star Wars.
talking about
Star
Wars. There's too many mistakes. And I don't like this whole. I didn't get it done in time. All these excuses. I didn't get it done in time.
I think if you don't get it done in time, you don't release it.
Exactly.
Thank you.
exactly.
Just don't.
This
just don't-
whole I had to release it by
I mean,
this
and they
date.
spent a
No.
ton of money on advertising.
Yep.
And like, so they've known for months probably what this movie, the end
No,
result of this movie
over the
is.
summer they were getting the blowback from the released footage of people talking about how ugly what they were looking at and how terrifying it looked. And that was like 6 months ago.
Well, I mean, that's what spurred the whole thing on. We saw the preview and we
What
were like,
happened to where they take a movie and they show it to people and they have to change stuff
It was
because
I.
the people didn't like it?
but we saw it in
What happened to that?
They forgot to change it.
Hollywood.
We did. We saw
The preview in
I think.
Hollywood and
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Jess was like, "We have to go see this movie
that."
because it looks so crazy."
Yeah. They knew, and
Yeah.
they didn't.
I think they really thought that they were going to be able to just get
it under the radar.
get the like musical, like the broad, like the
The people who'd once performed in a version of Cats.
I'm 100% in agreement with
the-
that.
I think
the
that
people-
they
the
thought
people
they
were
had
gonna
those
go,
people in the back.
and we're gonna-
And they may
And you-
have
and you
those
know
people.
what? You know
They
what?
may have those people.
Those
There's just
people
not many of those
also-
people as they thought.
Those people also are the type of people who don't want to go see Star Wars. So they were like, "Hey, we'll release it Star Wars because that's gonna work out well for you."
I would rather
Because
be hearing-
every theater that shows Star Wars has to have Star Wars on 80% of their screens.
Yes, and so then the
I
other
would
people
rather.
see Cats.
Well,
I
somebody
would rather
likes this
them
movie.
be arguing that it's a bomb because it had opening at Star Wars. Like if that was his excuse.
That was
Then
weird.
his the excuse that it wasn't ready or that
That's lame.
or we knew it was bad, but we released it anyway. I mean, that's just a stupid.
that is
that's
lame.
the Sonic movie got blowback,
And
and you know
they
what
pushed
they
it
did?
back by
They pushed it back
like 9
and they
months.
and they redid it. But so if they were willing to do that and could do it, they could have done it for this movie. They
That's what I'm
chose
saying.
not to.
They showed this movie somewhere to a test panel, and somebody in that test panel had to not liked it.
Well, there
This
was
movie, did we talk about
And they
the
didn't listen to that
Rotten
guy.
Tomatoes score?
Oh, it's 17%.
Somebody
No, we
likes
didn't.
this movie. It's not at
17% likes
zero.
this movie.
Not at zero.
Well, I mean,
There's a lot of
okay.
things that aren't zeros that should be.
there's
Again,
also
does not make it okay.
there's also scat porn. Okay,
There's probably
so let's just
Jesse. I just
Can you-
got to blow your bubble.
Wait a
But there's
minute.
probably
Did you just
a
say
campaign
scat
of
form?
people out there trying to get that 17% up score.
I
Those
Can we
people,
focus on Andy
again-
just said scat porn?
we don't have to.
mean, I would rather watch. Oh, I don't
Kevin
know. What's
has-
the worst movie we've seen?
Why won't Kevin say
I'd rather watch that. I'd rather watch Showgirls again. Showgirls
Well, that's a good movie.
Well, but
Hey,
Showgirls is
that is-
Showgirls
that
is
is
our
good.
top performing episode, by the way.
Hey, just so you know that is one of the best reviews I read. Cats was it compared it to. It said
Yeah.
it is Showgirls and Fur.
It kind of,
Showgirls and Fur. That's awesome.
That was my favorite.
Wait,
one of my
Angie,
favorites.
I want to hear. Did you give this 1 or 2 flippers?
She said none.
Well, I give it 2 flippers down.
No, yeah, no flippers.
Well,
This is a
this is
zero
our
flipper?
second zero flipper movie.
Which this one and
Men in Tights.
And Men in Tights.
Woo!
Yeah, this one and
Okay.
Men in We
I
have
would-
2 zero flipper
So-
movies in a season.
So, if you had to, which
Man,
would you
that's
watch
dope.
again?
Oh, don't.
Oh, my God.
God.
Oh, my
Gun to your
God.
head.
Men in
Gun to my,
Tights.
if Doug called you at 3 in the morning,
Said, hey,
I'm going to be real honest. I would watch Cats again.
Oh, I'd go with Men in Tights.
Men in Tights.
I don't think I could
All
do
day
Men in
long.
Tights again.
I think it's Carrie Elways for me.
Yeah,
think?
if it,
Yeah.
Men in Tights.
I
all
could
day
watch Carrie
Maybe.
Elways again.
long. I don't want to see Jennifer Hudson's snot
Snot.
bubbles,
Yeah, I know.
and I don't want to see Taylor Swift's ears falling off, and I don't want to see cats in the background's faces sliding
I hate to
off,
bring it down
and
to-
I don't want to hear cats in the background while other cats are singing.
Oh.
This was in the background while other cats were saying, meow, meow. You didn't hear the cats
I heard
meowing in
some
the
cats.
background?
At one point, I laughed when I heard it.
Oh,
It was in the back.
yes,
Very
no,
faint.
wasn't that what you just played? It was.
It might as well have
It was
been.
sweet mewing.
No, it was
You-
not.
You need more cat holes.
Sweet. Can you give me some of that sweet mewling?
Mewing.
Which would I watch, Doug? My question would come down. I would look to see which one was longer, and I would watch the shorter of
The
the.
short of the two. You know what?
Yeah, Men in
you know
Tights
what,
is-
Andy?
So
Yeah,
unfunny.
we'll go with
It
that.
Just
You know what?
so unfunny.
Well,
Well, wait
this
a
is pretty
minute.
unfunny.
We haven't seen the
But they were
updated
trying to
version of
be.
Cats yet.
Are
We're
you
not
sure?
gonna.
And we will not.
So next Tuesday, guys.
We're not
Doing
gonna.
it all again?
No.
I don't think.
That's a
I don't
negative.
think a little
Yeah.
CGI
You know what?
remaster is going to
Let's-
save this one.
Let's all
No, it
marinate
won't.
on this for a
Call me
while.
controversial, but it's
Let's
not.
marinate
Don't make
on
a
this,
decision right
and
now.
then we'll come back and rewatch it again.
Yes.
And then we'll do a
Thank
second
you.
podcast over the rewatch.
No,
Thank you.
no, I want to go with my original ideas that we all get fucked up on mushrooms and then go see it. And then redo this.
Look, if everybody agrees to do it, we'll do it again.
Okay, we're doing it
On
next
mushrooms.
Tuesday.
Well, yes.
On mushrooms.
No,
Thank you.
I've never had really good experiences. I saw Gladiator. Never mind. It's a long story.
Dude, I would probably wind up climbing the walls.
That's why I'm saying mushrooms. So
Scat porn.
Or
we could go watch mushrooms and watch scat porn.
So yes, what would you rather do?
No.
Do mushrooms and watch scat porn.
No, I will
cat-
not.
Cats.
Doug calls you at 3 a.m. and says, "I have to watch cats or scat porn."
No, I've got to watch Cats or Two Girls, One Cup. What do you want?
I get
Shudder.
the reference, but just for the.
How come I only get the? How come you only press the boo button when I? That should get a.
Oh, sorry.
He laughed. You know why he laughed? I watched.
That little button says Jesse. The boo button says Jesse on it. I can
You know
see
what?
it from here.
All my jokes are for Kevin's benefit. That's all of my jokes.
No, it's not fair.
Anyway,
Well, so we have our second Zero Flipper movie in the Igloo, and it is the travesty called Cats. I feel sorry for Dame Judi Dench. If she were to die tomorrow, this would be her last
And
movie.
Ian McKellen.
And
He need-
I don't think she deserves that. Ian McKellen, absolutely the same thing. They don't
Right.
deserve that. They
I
need
hope
to hurry
they-
up and make a new
I
movie
hope
so
they
they
have
don't
some
die
stuff
with
in
this
the-
as
aren't they
their
both
last
in
one.
that new mystery that just came out?
Knives Out.
No. That's I want to see Knives Out.
I do too.
But the one where he's a old guy trying to date an old woman on a website, and he's trying to take her for her money, and who's trying to take who, and
Oh, I think I know
ends
what
up
you're
getting
talking
pushed
about.
into a subway, and
Oh my god.
it's very
Sounds good.
intense.
Oh, Knives
suspense.
Out, pretty good. Go see it.
Cool.
That's what I
wanna see
recommend.
it. I want to see it.
I saw it. No, it's a good. movie.
Yeah, it's on my list.
It's. I know. I can't wait to
So-
see that movie.
Came really close to seeing it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
That's what we should have seen. I think that's what we should have seen.
We should have seen Knives Out.
Yeah. I would have liked that movie. So, Penguins, thank you for
Yeah.
indulging
Our second
yourselves.
now showing. I'm glad to have another now showing in the game.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Too.
If I have to tell you again that I will only see a movie on mushrooms and y'all don't listen to me and I have to see another Cats movie, we're going to have words. But until then, for all of our Penguin Army, make sure you go out and check us out on the interwebs. Go hit our website at thedirtypenguinpresents.com. From there, you can link out to all of our social media sites. Check out some of our other podcasts. Squawk and the Watchmen has just wrapped up their final episode, but it's on HBO for as long as it is. I just finished Band of Brothers. That was in 2001.
It's on HBO now. Every HBO show.
Every
is still on.
HBO. That's right. So go check out Squawk and Watchmen and watch the Watchmen episodes on HBO. We will be continuing our season 5.
I'm excited for you fans, man. Y'all, this is going to be a good episode for you.
Or
This
it
will-
was a good episode. For you
Yeah,
guys.
this is a great episode.
Yeah, if you've listened to this point, you're really enjoying it.
Right?
If you're still hanging on.
If you're still hanging in there, I appreciate you. You're my fan.
Right?
Oh,
if you saw this movie because of this podcast, I apologize.
Andy just made a pun.
So you're saying
hang in there.
So-
Cats, cats.
we're sending our viewers to Santa Fe for the next movie?
No, do it again.
Yeah.
Do it again.
No,
Push the boo button. Push the boo button.
No,
Thank
he
you.
did it, not me.
But he didn't mean it in the way you meant it because apparently he doesn't have that little like
When you
inspirational poster with the little cat.
Hang in there,
Just
baby.
hang in there.
I thought that was Ziggy.
So, as we continue our season 5 of musicals, our next movie will be what, gang? Newsies. That's right. Get your papes. Buy me last
Pipes.
pape, mister.
Papes.
Get your papes ready. We're going to
That
the
should be an
Disney
interesting
backlot
discussion.
for Newsies. What's that?
That'll be a good discussion.
It will be a good discussion. And that will be debuting very soon. So go watch the movie. It's on Disney Plus. Go watch the musical. It's on Disney Plus or wherever you feel like watching it.
Can I say one thing?
No.
You've said
Wait,
it
hang
all.
on. Let me get my button ready.
It's 2 days until Christmas, so I just want to say to everybody, meowy Christmas. Let's stop.
That was terrible. That's a terrible way to end it.
Oh, as I said,
Do the cat. Do the
you
cat
got to be
stories.
kidding me.
Are you feeling me? Are you? Did you?
Let's
And I think
wrap
the
it up,
only
please.
thing that we have left to do,
It's
fellow
squawk it
penguins,
out.
is to squawk dirty.
Meow it out.
Penguins?
No animals were harmed in the recording of this podcast.